Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the number 3 Wednesday Night Fights pregame show here at the eSports Arena on twitch.tv/NickTanella. Today with me I have
Dr. Stance.
Dr. Stance.
Vicious
with me. We're gonna be talking about tournaments that happened this past weekend. Those being Canada Cup, Vancouver Series, Kaku Top 4. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, Kaku Top.
Kaku
Top's
Top
correct,
4, which was in France. And then Battle Arena Melbourne 8, which was in Australia. Then we'll be talking about some miscellaneous FGC stuff. Daigo getting picked up by Red Bull.
Very
interesting
interesting.
stuff. Couple other little snippets. And then we're going to have upcoming tournaments this weekend that are coming this weekend. And then we're going to do a Wednesday Night Fights 2.1 recap. This is the start of a new season.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to have, hopefully, we're going to have Afro Cole as an interview. That'll be pretty cool.
Special guest Afro Cole?
Special guest.
The OG?
He's
Regular guest.
on his way.
Regular
We're at
guest.
the mercy of LA traffic.
Oh,
whether
yeah,
or not
for
he's
sure.
Yeah, if you guys don't.
he makes it. So,
Valle
that's
boys.
what I
Every
say.
joke they made in Who Framed Roger
Hopefully.
Rabbit, on point.
Absolutely.
All right, so the first thing that we're going to get into is Canada Cup.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about it.
So I hear a little bit of an echo, a little bit of a feedback. Let's talk about Canada Cup. What did you guys think?
First and foremost, shout outs to
First,
them
I
for
hear-
even for having such an event. I mean, it was like a prelude to their main Canada Cup gaming series.
Yeah, but I know it was up in the air. Lapchi was kind of saying sometime last year that some sponsors pulled out. There was a little bit of question of would there even be a Canada Cup ever happening again. And
Right.
hey, and they're doing it. So they went forward with this event, and
that's really cool. For them
Team
to
EG
start
taking first and second.
Yeah, they
not
kinda-
third.
Not third. I think.
No, Ricky lost to. I can't remember I can't remember who, but it was
That
like
person.
fourth. It was like fourth, second, and first, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
But it
still
was.
decent. That's still a decent
Pretty
showing.
good. Yeah,
Majority of
they
the
ran-
EG,
They ran
top
train on
five.
that top.
Yeah, they have.
top
yeah.
8.
I mean, how many people are on Team EG for Street Fighter right now? Anyway, I mean that's like half their their roster,
3 out of 4, actually? No.
something like that. Yeah,
Three out of
the only.
five. So we got, Justin, Ricky,
K-Brad.
K-Brad, PR Rog.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's about it.
Momochi.
Oh, Momochi-san. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he wasn't representing. He was at. Wasn't he at?
Yeah, he was at Melbourne.
He was at Ben.
Yeah.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about it real quick. Other than those guys, who were some there's some notable players. Some were from Seattle, Washington. I know.
Rysida.
Yeah, Rysida. Yeah.
Former
And
Blanca player in USF4.
Yep.
Right?
yeah, and
He's
Air
pretty
got
good.
Air got 7th.
Oh yeah, Air
He's
was
a
there
cheater
too.
because
right.
he's pretty much
Ricky
completely
lost to
affiliated
Jaewong.
with that event, so he's a cheater. Shout out to you there. Way to go, buddy.
Oh, we
Yeah.
love him.
I think one of the most kind of impressive things, I guess, is that Justin Wong won the tournament, or almost
No,
won the
yeah,
tournament.
second,
Right.
yeah,
He
came
got
in
second
second.
place.
With Alex.
With
Yeah.
Alex and Guile, 2 of his
Alex and
secondaries.
Guile.
Second and
Right,
his
right.
third.
Which is really funny because after what was it, Texas Showdown or Northwest Majors, he was kind of glowing about Karen and how he kind of he decided on Karen before realizing how good she is, and then she might be the best character in the
The
game.
one.
You know, the one, or at least the best character for him. So
He really likes Alex though. And
He
I
does,
don't
he
see
does.
that
That's
as
true.
a character.
Yeah,
for him,
and,
but it's
you know-
He
really
does love him
interesting.
some Alex.
And-
a lot of
and-
casuals too. Yeah.
and also a Team EG that they're not strangers to that. You might be thinking, oh well, such a big tournament, wouldn't you want to stick with your main? Well, if you are a high level player, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, you got to bring out the character eventually.
There were no points on the line. It
Right,
wasn't
it's
a
not-
ranking event.
This is not on the Capcom Pro
I think
Tour.
it was just the only thing that was online was Cash Pride and
And I think an entry
Spot
into the
into
next, to the actual Canada Cup gaming, which is on the Capcom Pro Tour itself, on the schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a ticket to that main event. I guess you could say it was a prelude.
So if you won, you
Yeah.
get an automatic
right, yeah, that's
entry in the
exactly.
top 32, or is it
No, you just get an entry or a
free
trip,
pass and
like a
trip,
voucher?
a trip into
like a free,
back
was
into
like
Canada,
getting-
so long as you have your passport.
and a continental breakfast.
yeah,
and a free breakfast.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
continental then?
Yes, intercontinental breakfast.
fancy.
Okay, well, I'm sure plenty of people have beaten that subject up pretty well, so we're not going to stay on it too much, but we're going to get into Kaku Top 4
Yes.
now. Now,
Yes.
this was, tell me Vicious, tell me about this tournament. What it is, what's it about, where it is.
As you said previously, it was in Paris, France. They brought the hype back just like they did in 2015 with Street Fighter 4. Now they're coming in with a new game, Street Fighter 5. We actually had a handful of European players. Well, we had
Some of the best.
Aliun, we had Luffy, who was an Evo champ. MBR, we had Problem
Phenom.
X
Phenom.
and Phenom.
Phenom,
These
yeah.
guys were going at it, and it wasn't your traditional tournament. So
Yeah, it was. It's more Topanga style. So
Yeah.
if you guys don't know, they were broken up into groups A and B,
Correct.
respectively. And then there was before all that there were qualifiers, I believe. But then there was
that's right.
But then so once they were grouped into their respective groups, then they played each other. And then that was on day 2, right? And then day 3 they played.
Pretty much they
the
took
other
the
members
winners
of the other
They
groups.
took the winners of both pools,
Yeah.
the top 3 outstanding players from each pool, and then they pit them against each other in a first of 5 set.
Yes. Okay. That in the finals. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pretty much recap pools A and B, and then work our way into the finals. So in pool A, we actually had Valmaster, Problem X, Aliun, MBR, and a guy named Dupkis or
Dupkis.
Dupkis.
Very nice.
He was a birdie player, but
The
I'm
ace
actually,
in the hole?
yeah, pretty much. He swindled his way in there. I don't know how, but
Yeah, yeah.
his birdie was actually
dolphin-
pretty solid.
he dolphin grabbed his
dove
way.
right in there. But overall, Valmaster and Problem X were the top 2 competitors in Pool A, respectively winning majority of their matches. Valmaster only lost 1 match, as well as Problem X, pretty much. And we're going to go into
Man.
the first match. We're going to actually talk about those specific
Only one
losses.
match.
They've lost only 1 match in that entire pool that
Good.
day.
Holy crap.
Wow.
And it is a first of 3, mind you. So we're going to hop into it real quick. We're going to have MBR versus Problem X. Now, going into this one right here, so MBR is like a former Akuma player, so this transition to Ryu was actually a pretty good choice for him. Now, we got,
Not a bad pick.
yeah, Problem X really using his normals here, trying to find a way in. Just, here we go, using these
Look at that
dirty
wildlife.
normals.
Look
These
at that
dirty
wildlife.
normals. Look at this pool.
Oh my
MBR
gosh,
with
that
the
was
recognition,
that was really
but
good.
Problem X is,
Yeah, he didn't
is
get the
unfazed.
punishment.
So I like how he keeps him in the corner. There we go. MBR
with the-
trying to
with
find
the
something
hell
with the
attack.
jab,
There
going
you
on to the
go.
other side, and here comes the good stuff. Here
Yeah,
comes
he
the good
went
stuff.
Okay, activate.
Problem X popping the trigger,
keeping
but
that
the
safe.
jump back was super sick into the low forward super. Now that's some really adaptive stuff there. What I liked about that was he didn't wait for any other mix-ups after Problem X popped the V trigger. Now instead of sitting there blocking, trying to guess which way he's going to dash or if he's going to dash and throw you at all, he neutralized that situation completely by jumping back and risking it into like landing that normal. So say in that particular situation, right? Either you sit there and probably eat a mix-up, like a really heavy damage mix-up.
Right, like you try to react to the dash.
Yeah,
but
but
end
if
up
you
sitting
just
there,
jump,
like-
you're going to get pretty much minimal damage and reset back to the neutral game. So I thought that was an excellent choice by MBR. So that actually led to MBR taking that game. And then in the next clip we're going to show you right now is the continuation of that set where MBR just gives the sickest play on the throw bait. Watch. So check this out. Problem X, again, getting it in with these normals,
going with the
taking
shimmies.
his time, yeah, with frame traps and shimmies. But here comes the sick stuff. Here we come. Here it comes. MBR trying to bide his time. Now notice MBR does have V-trigger, so he's definitely going to look for an opportunity to pop it as soon as he can. Oh, look at that. The dash into the shimmy. Did you
Dash
see
into the
that?
shimmy, into a
That
dash,
was
into a standing
the
roundhouse?
shimmy. It was the shimmy
you
of
kidding me?
death. He shimmied, dash, shimmied again. Problem X was totally phased out by that. Completely. 2-1. And
Oh my God, yeah.
yeah, he's not.
I was
Problem
gonna
X
say
definitely wasn't
Problem
ready.
X. A little delayed reactions
Yeah.
there. Like he's kind of.
Yeah, he's coming back, but here it
Yeah,
comes.
he just got dash, shimmy, dash, standing
Yeah,
heavy.
dude.
kick
He was
into
definitely
into a
mind
crush
F.
outer, dude.
and then fell to a wake up
DP.
DP.
So
Wow.
that was actually the sickest play I saw right off the bat. It was like at the 20-minute mark.
That wasn't
of
that
stream.
wasn't online. That looked like it was online.
It looked like it was online. Definitely online.
That was a ranked match.
Yeah, so Problem X did lose that series 3-1 to MBR. Shout outs to both competitors. Problem X, formerly a Sea Viper and Stealth player in Street Fighter 4, kind of made his name out there towards the end of the season. He was, I believe, he was the hype spotting champion this year.
Oh, was he? Oh
Or
wait,
is
I
he
think I
this-
didn't. Yeah. that's
So,
right.
yeah, shout outs to him again. And then we're going to talk about Valmaster really quickly.
Sure.
He also,
Oh, let's check that one out.
yeah, he also lost only one game throughout the entirety of pools, and it was to Problem X. So this next clip right now, we're going to show you. Now, both players kind of playing the neutral game, trying to buy their time in.
Is this a typical matchup for M. Bison?
you know what? I don't know any of these characters like in terms of playing it, but as soon as Valmaster comes in with that V trigger, you know it's a problem for Bison. Actually, for any character. 'Cause look at that, look at that explosiveness from Valmaster. They were just hanging out, and the next thing you know, Problem X going in raw, going in raw. Look at this setup right here. Boom, covers the jump, and look at the damage. Amazing stuff. That was so sick.
Like this much health.
So what happened was, as soon as he popped, the fireball, Problem X went into it, right into it, and he wanted to close the gap as soon as possible with the EX stomp, which did a ton of damage. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was
we saw
did it
ton
combo
of damage.
with the ball?
It said it was a 2-hit combo, but I think
Okay,
it was
so
the ball and the stomp because you did
stomp,
not see the
but it-
continuation of the stomp.
But it traded with like a button.
The
That's
thing-
why you didn't get 2 hits. The double stomp.
No, it should have been a double stomp, but I think it was. I think Chun-Li bounced off of the fireball, so it doesn't
so
really.
it, like, took a point of juggle or something like that?
That's probably it.
Oh,
But
that's
I
weird.
really want to test that out because that was an amazing play from Problem X, sniffing out the jump back. You don't want to
like a
jump back.
bloodhound,
Even
just-
that was full screen, and he was just like, you know what? No.
Yeah, no, totally
Don't do
risk. That was an all or nothing bet, and he just cashed it. That was really sick.
Yeah. So right after that, Problem X,
TYPOP.
he was pretty much riding that momentum. So we're going to
see
show that momentum carry over to the next game in the next clip we're going to about to show you right now. So
Okay, same
pretty much
couple.
same scenario. Problem X is up one full game.
Nice crush counter.
Here
Tried
we
to go for a setup, but
Yeah, no, he missed
Yeah,
it.
Problem
Or
X wakes up with a standing heavy punch.
Yeah.
That's the new meta.
That,
right. Yeah,
that
some of your
pretty
slowest
much-
buttons.
I feel like that kind of put Valmaster a little bit on tilt because Problem X is pressing all the heavy buttons at the right range, and Valmaster just wasn't ready for it, like at all. Look at how he pushed Valmaster into the
Ooh,
corner.
nice. I like how you made
so
that target
quickly.
combo safe.
Now he's gonna go nuts right here. After this throw, he's just gonna go ham. All the buttons.
Oh God, yeah. That,
Look at that. The damage. Did you see the burst damage on that man? Like, yeah, he was smiling it up, but like, you know what?
yeah, he was,
Towards
He's
the
like,
end of
nah,
that,
I'm okay. Come
yeah,
on.
definitely towards the end of that, he was not.
trash.
He was
He's
not going to
trash.
come back. I'm not going to go
whatever.
into full detail as to what happened towards the end, but Valmaster was sort of put on tilt right after that. So
Yo, wait, so he beat him 3-1.
he beat him 3-1.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, almost.
whatever.
Yeah.
He's got those Team YP after parties, which got to be
Team YP
off the hook
uncensored over there.
after dark.
Yeah,
Uncensored?
definitely. Red light
At all the
district.
events?
All,
Oh my
all night.
Team YP, man.
I actually
They throw a party.
I visited Germany when I was a little kid. Well, I was like 13, so I'm just like coming of age, and I was with my grandma. It was just me and my grandma. It was also the first time I got drunk.
Ooh,
13.
13.
But anyways, we were
Holler.
driving through the we were driving through the red light district, and the bus tour driver is like, all right, if you look to your right, this is the red light district, and there are the ladies of the night, or whatever he was saying, and I'm just like, oh, and my grandma's
Hey,
like,
Grandma.
Nikki, no, little Nikki.
It's too late. It's too
I'm
late.
like,
You all
Grandma,
got
get
that.
out of here.
Sorry, Grandma Tanella. You're gonna have to learn today. Nicky boy
All
is
right.
all grown up
That wasn't in
and grown out.
That wasn't in the script, right? We're off script,
Definitely
boys.
not.
We're off script.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, Kakutop was not only was Pool A jam-packed with those kind of players, but Pool B had some really notable players and some really exciting matches.
There were. In fact, okay, so let's just go down the list right here.
All right, so
Kakutop
what do you have for
Group
us?
B. We had Luffy playing Armika.
Oh, Luffy.
Will Tupac. The hero of Texas Showdown, I believe.
Right?
The Lara player from
one of the many Lauras that did well that weekend.
Yes,
Sonic.
exactly. Sonic, yeah.
We'll talk about him later.
We got CCL representing Chun-Li, Pax representing Karen, and Phenom doing both Bison and Nikali. Phenom translating his Bison from the 4 days.
Right.
One of
Playing
them
Nikali now?
also playing Nikali, like
Everybody
pocketing
trying to
maybe.
pick up Nikali.
It's,
Get
I
off
don't
my
see why not.
Nikali. Get off my Nikali.
I gotta say, Bison is an incredibly popular character over in Europe and
It
UK.
is. We had a
You
lot
got-
in Australia too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, because there is Phenom. There's also what we just saw, Problem X, Gagapa, Tyrant. You know, all
Gagapa
these
especially.
Yeah, just a lot of Bison representation there. So, and now ultimately Luffy blew away
Oh, let's
the
talk about
competition. Luffy ended it with plus 9 points. Second place was Phenom with plus 1. I mean, that's huge.
That's a blowout.
Huge.
Now, who
huge
did
gap.
Luffy use again?
Mika.
Right.
Mika. Now I
He's
do
had
want
like a bit of
a little bit of a character
crisis, right? Like he was
he's
just
been
trying a bunch of
sticking
different
with.
characters.
I feel maybe in the beginning, but
Maybe
he's
in the
been
beginning,
sticking
yeah.
with Mika pretty hard. And the thing that I want to highlight, and
Mika is
we
thick.
will go into our first clip in a second. That what I want to say about Luffy's Mika, the thing that really stands out to me is
Other
that
than her chest.
other than her chest, well,
Got
her and
Which is
I'll
also
go
why
there.
Luffy likes her. By the way, fun fact.
is that what he said? Is that what he said?
That's absolutely what he said.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Confirmed pervert
They
Luffy.
seem- Never mind. I'm not gonna.
No.
Dead serious.
the thing about his Mika that really stood out to me is when you compare his Mika to someone like, the way that I feel most high-level Mikas have been playing, or Nando, Marn, they really go in for the rush down, the 50-50 mix-ups and the guessing games, but Luffy,
they push that fear a lot more.
A lot of that fear, but more like in your face fear. Luffy really retains a stance in the neutral, much more patient and reactionary.
Willing to just stand there.
It's almost
wait
like
for you to
He makes you hang yourself, basically.
Exactly. So we are going to go into this this first clip once I get my notes going. It's him going right into his. This is the first match. The first match of the Group B of Luffy versus Tupac, and I think
Mr. Will Tupac.
Will Tupac. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Tyrant, by the way, on the right. Look at that
Yeah,
good-looking man. Look at his haircut.
and
Shout out to you and Tyrant.
and to Damascus. The whole thing honestly was run.
Yeah, shout out to Unequaled Media for doing
Oh,
the
yeah,
was
definitely.
run
English
was
stream.
run very very well, and you can see here that Luffy. You can see he's not just like really like he's not just going for it. He's he waited for Will Tupac to kind of come out and make a mistake, and then reach out. You'll hear Damascus outplayed.
For sure. Oh, my God.
Are they making fun of him?
Now you see like he's really going for those traps.
Oh, my
Yeah, a
God.
lot of normal
traps-
throws there.
The traps
Didn't even bother
and
to
the
go for
throws
hand grabs
and the throws.
He made the right choice.
Yeah, not where I feel like typically they're just in on you. They're going for the cross ups, but Luffy just maintains that corner pressure, wants you to extend yourself and overextend,
Yeah,
so he can just kind of grab your arm and just yank you out of a
played
comfortable
way more
spot.
basic. He did like crouch light kick and a crouch
Yeah.
light punch, and then went for normal throw. Because
Yeah.
if you go for a command grab immediately, and they happen to neutral jump, you could lose off that. But
Absolutely.
if
There's
they
a lot more
neutral jump
recovery.
a normal throw,
You recover in time, yeah.
Yeah,
can
exactly.
punish
So
them.
so
I
just
tell
rolling.
people that all the time. They
And we're rolling right into the next clip right here. We'll start that one. You can see that reactionary play just really come in. I mean, Will Tupac really trying to aggress, give him something to guess
Ooh, the stutter.
with. And you also see Luffy using a lot of those V reversals, not necessarily needing to tag team Nadeshiko in until he needs. And you see right there, just really keeping that neutral, waiting for Will
Right.
to do something. He's not extending
Oh, no, it's
his
all over.
reach.
It's all over.
Ooh.
It's all over.
There's the
Yeah,
blender.
very
Normal
patient.
throws?
I feel like Mika
Oh, he
plays.
finally goes for the command throw.
Right,
my God.
exactly. It's always like, when is he going
Off
to do
the
it?
stun for the guaranteed win.
I just feel like most Mikas,
Luffys.
most Luffys, excuse me, most Mikas out there, they just want to press every single button on the D-pad or on the controller, on the stick, where Luffy is pressing half those
They wanna
buttons.
do this.
He's he is exemplifying the less is more tactic. Now I want to go into the next one right here. I know I'm highlighting a lot of Luffy, but I just want to say, he did.
I mean, he did kind of
He
body
blew up the
everybody, so-
competition.
He
I don't
blew
blame
it
you.
up.
Highlight
He
this man.
blew up the competition. So rolling into the next one, look at this. He's just look how he fishes. Neutral jump.
against
1,
Tupac
2,
again.
3, 4.
Well, like what? Laura
Neutral
can't
to
stop
5.
that.
Neutral jump. 6.
Notice how he's not giving up
Neutral
any
jump.
of his estate at all.
7.
No.
7 neutral jump.
He's
8.
been on the same
That's 8.
block on the sidewalk or in the street since like forever.
9.
Yeah, he never took a
9
step
neutral
back.
jump. 10
Oh my.
until Will Tupac finally made the wrong move.
Yeah.
11. Just you really using those neutral jumps to fish. It's like I don't.
Oh my God.
He doesn't.
I want to know what possessed him to command grab when this dude
And this is what I'm talking about.
neutral
That this
jumped like 10 times.
right there,
Outplayed.
outplayed. The less. So
Damascus, the boy.
what I'm loving,
boy.
the takeaway from Luffy's Mika is that I really had it in my head like, oh my God, this character is for people who just like to press buttons. They
Right.
just like the piano right across the board. But no, she actually has. She's got footsies. If you want
that's for
footsies.
sure.
Her neutral.
There's the stubby, but they're kind of like the collies where like they're really good where they are. They just don't reach very far.
Right, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I agree. That makes perfect sense, actually.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
very threatening once you're in that
They're
range.
like a spider, you know. Like they're just kind of like I'm like right here, but they're like super dangerous. Like,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here, you know?
So,
one bite
so,
can kill you.
so that idea, I'm just gonna say it once more. Forgive me for beating a dead horse. It's just that less is more sort of Mika. It was totally out of left field. I feel like when you go into this matchup, everybody's just expecting like you're just gonna go for that medium punch, the clap grab.
It definitely wasn't like we highlighted last week, Fubar Duck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Fu Lord up.
He had like the nuts of setup.
Just yeah,
That
absolutely.
was very
Crazy
setup
pressure,
based, yeah.
yeah.
Where he made you guess, whereas like Luffy was in a more like calm demeanor about it. It was less
Very
setup.
much.
Walk
Very
up
much.
throw 10 times
Very-
in a row.
I would
Yeah,
say
there
like
was so many normal
I
grabs,
would
yeah.
rather play the setup heavy monster
Yeah.
than the dude that's
Because
just
you
willing to walk
know,
up throw
it's
me
like you lost. You're
10
like,
times.
how did that happen? Like I don't know. Maybe I should put in the lab and try to learn how to defend it. But then if it's Luffy, it's like I just got thrown 10 times. What's my excuse? For
yeah, it's
losing?
like what? It's like, and wait, he was jumping half the match.
Yeah, dude.
Why did I?
And
You
the
know,
one
did
time
why-
I
not-
blocked like a man grab.
Yeah, he moved back like two
dude.
paces and then walked back,
And that's
or
it,
walked forward
yeah.
like 8.
it was a very
Okay.
a very patient, very deliberate, like just a threading the needle type. Rather, I feel like most Mikos are like just throwing a whole net, throwing a whole blanket over top you. He was just like, no, I'll just wait. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
So, but there were some other great players. we mentioned a lot.
So yeah,
So the response to that, you know, I'm gonna bring up his match against Phenom, the Bison player.
right, yeah.
Phenom's adaptation
This is Luffy.
against
Phenom?
Yes, Luffy against Phenom. So we'll roll that clip. Phenom giving
I think though,
some
everybody's like,
prime
"Hey,
adaptation, going hyper aggro. Now you can see Luffy has already like given him something to work with.
Yeah,
It's
it's
2-1 right now. Phenom just saying like, you know what? If you're just going to stand back, I am just going to close this gap, and I'm going to do everything I have. If you want to, you're looking to guess one thing that I'm going to do. How about I give you 5 things to guess?
You know what Phenom trademark is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's trying that more
Neutral
neutral jump
jump.
stuff. I mean, he's still doing really well. He's still doing really well here.
Ooh,
It was that beating that V reversal.
that's
That
not for
was
stun.
huge.
Definitely
Almost.
not.
Oh my
Almost.
god,
Very
dude,
close.
that does so much damage. I don't know why I'm still surprised when I see it. No way. No way.
Oh, okay.
Luffy boys
So hard to set up. So solid.
going into the next match. Phenom.
All right, so he gets out the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Taking
gets
the
going,
pressure,
gets
got him
going.
in the
Like,
corner.
yeah, the Kanzuki Butler Cook just in the back. Like, yeah.
He's feeling himself. Notice how Luffy isn't doing anything rash. He's just doing the neutral jumps, which he should be doing to kind of get yourself ready for scissor kicks. at
It's
any
so hard to
moment.
deal with the Mika splash,
Yeah, for
the
sure.
stomach splash, especially with
Oh, yeah,
characters
especially-
with uppercut. You're like spending that extra.
Yeah, and
Extra
when you
mental
want to
attention.
go in, it's just kind of covering your ground, covering your bases, just like all right, whatever.
And it's so difficult to punish if you're not ready for it.
Oh no, he missed. His,
Oh,
shimmied
that
him
was so
effectively.
sick. Here we go. Oh my god. Luffy.
Yeah, it's like never just sitting on V bar. You know, if he has it,
He never sits on the V.
He never sits on the V. He get,
That's not what you're supposed
always-
to do with it.
Oh, I didn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'm a saint. I don't do that.
but I mean, he doesn't stockpile it. He's not needing to call in Nadeshiko just at any moment.
Oh, that would have been sick
Oh,
if he
no.
made
But
something.
is he
out
gonna
of it.
hit? Oh!
The best.
That was so sick if it was like a full punish.
It stopped Phenom in his tracks from doing any like setups.
Yeah.
Advancing at all.
Yeah, and then and then just take a moment, like, wait, hold on a second, because I don't know what you're gonna do. Like, it seems like you've only done 3 things, and I still have no bead on it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then he
why?
finally, and there
Okay.
it is. So
That was pretty sick.
really great stuff. And then just like I said, the last thing I want to highlight is this Will Tupac, man. I'm a big fan.
Still hype on
of
him?
Tupac. I am very hype.
It wasn't just a one-time thing.
No,
a one
definitely
weekend
not.
thing.
Definitely not. No, man. So I feel I've been saying since the very
So
beginning.
how much
that
did he pay you
Lara,
to say all this?
undisclosed. That Lara, if you go onto these tier lists, a lot of these people, very sleeping on Lara. They don't.
Right,
They don't.
yeah.
They
a
don't
lot of
like.
people
They
feel
consider
she's-
her like
looks
low mid,
Yeah, low mid or.
but a lot of people downplay her though. So
and I think that's the thing. So I really think that Will
Is it all the
Tupac.
Laura mains? It's all the Laura
yeah,
mains,
it is
isn't it?
I'm looking
It's
at you,
just Laura mains.
Defeatly.
It's all those Ken mains,
Defeatly is
too.
one of
They
those
do the
people.
same
Who's like,
thing.
hey, yeah, Laura's terrible.
Talk to a Ken main about their character. Worst character in the
Yeah,
game.
so let's play the clip actually while we talk, because we have a lot of things to say about Lara in general. But
These guys are
he's,
Well, I thought
I
we
know
had
that's
the-
them. That's them.
This is
That's
the
not
English
us.
stream, right?
This is the English stream.
I love those guys.
I mean, his 50-50 games and his Oki.
Oh my god.
Wait,
is
he
this
doesn't.
the first
He
round?
doesn't limit himself to the
Yes.
same patterns. Like you're always. It's sort of like he kind of knows that human rule of 3. That
Oh, get out of my sky.
It's like he realizes if I can do it twice, you're going to be expecting it a third time. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to write this story as it's happening, and I'm just going to force you to say the dialogue I want you to say. I mean, just like it's all. And let's just keep it rolling. We'll just go right into the next round.
Yeah.
That was sick.
I feel.
Phenom was
I
kind of
feel. I know. He was like,
oh my god, if that's my first
okay.
round against somebody, I'm panicking because
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
no information.
I'd be pretty salty. I would be pretty salty.
now ultimately, this did. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but this did end 3-0. Will Tupac versus Phenom in this set. But it's just that I feel like if you are a Lara player and you think that you're maining a bad character, I disagree. I feel like you need to be watching
figure out the
Will
things.
Tupac's thing because the thing with Lara is okay. So she does have some pretty bad buttons. True, she has some bad buttons. Whatever. She has some slow startups. Okay, but she's offering a challenge to all the Lara players. If you were trying to play her, you need to use her just as sort of like a train, and just like
She excels at close quarters combat, though. Hands down.
Exactly.
You
Like
need to find that sweet
because you
spot.
took the train here today?
I think so. I think so. Just always, looking to outsmart them, playing 3 moves in advance, like not a reaction. You have to make them react to you. It's sort of the thing.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, writing that dialogue to just be in your favor.
Absolutely.
So was that it for
Metaphorical.
Kakutop?
That's Kakutop.
That's
Was that like
Kakutop
the rest
right
of like
there?
Pool B?
That was Pool B. That was not
So
finals.
who were the top 2 players in your pool? It was
it was Luffy and Phenom
Luffy
in
and
group B, but total.
It should,
like,
there was
at
3
finals-
in each. Yeah, it was.
It was still Luffy and Phenom actually who took the finals, plus 17 and plus 3 respectively.
Yeah, so I believe it was the top 6 for the finals day was Problem X, Alioun, Luffy, Phenom, Val Master, and I think was it top 6 or top 5? I think it was top 5. Actually.
And then Luffy bodied all of those.
Yeah, and Luffy just
Luffy
destroyed everybody.
destroyed.
So much that they had an article on Event Hubs saying, after I won Evo, everybody became salty. Like, they're even like extra salty that he's winning with our Mika.
Yeah, I remember
You know
the first
what I'm
thing was like, is it a fluke? Is
No,
it a fluke?
it's
It's like,
definitely
no,
not. No, the way he's been playing, the way he performed all weekend, definitely not a fluke.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much Kakutop in a nutshell. Again, you can check them out, or the rest of the stories at shoryuken.com or Event Hubs, or at the respective streams at twitch.tv/unequaled media.
Unequaled
Yeah,
media,
shout out
yes.
to
That
them
was
for
the
putting
English stream. Shout outs to them with Damascus and Tyrant. Great casters, overall funny guys. Be sure to check it out if you want to catch all the highlights and all the clips we just mentioned.
And good players too. I mean, those guys they do know what they're talking about, and I mean
Absolutely.
they're gonna be at Stunfest.
We're
right.
gonna
this coming
talk
weekend, that's
about
what I'm saying.
Stunfest later.
Just
Yeah.
a minute.
Upcoming tournament this weekend. Lots and lots and lots of freaking talent.
Oh,
We're
man.
gonna rattle off a whole list.
Yeah,
for you
just
guys
rattle
who
And
Yeah.
haven't
only
seen
one American. Who will it be?
it. Yeah. Who is that?
Who is that man?
Stop it, Misha, stop. So
much.
up next is Battle Arena Melbourne. This was a ranking
Melbourne.
event in Australia that not a lot of people got to see because it was at like a weird time. Same,
Right.
same with like the French streams, and the Asia streams. Sometimes we just can't watch them because we're asleep. This is definitely one of those. So Battle Arena Melbourne 8. Like Luffy bodying everybody at Kakutop, that was Haitani bodying everybody in Australia.
At BAM 8.
Yeah, he destroyed everybody.
Snaps.
This is top 16. He beat Somniac 2-0, one of Australia's better players, one of their best. 3-1 versus Momochi, 3-0 versus Mago, 3-0 versus Mago, 2-3 versus Momochi in grand finals first set, and then 3-0'd him after the reset, after Momochi reset it. So he just kind of like rolled over everybody.
and Haitani-
if you saw his matches, he like was just commanding the whole time. And if he wasn't, then he made some insane comeback with Nikali.
I was gonna say we did
We're gonna
cover.
watch a couple of those.
He's maining Nikali.
Yeah, he's
this time around.
maining
Yeah.
Nikali. He was a formerly Makoto main.
Correct. Yes.
And I think so.
Oh, do you know who Mise now mains? Is he playing?
I think he's
Street
still
Fighter V?
playing Chun. I
Is it
thought
Chun?
Misei was still
Okay.
playing Chun. Yeah.
Okay. Because we were wondering that.
we were talking about that earlier about
Haitani went Nikali, and we were wondering what the other Makotos ended up doing. I don't think that there's like a character for Makotos.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
not.
they're not
Yeah,
yet.
no. The closest one is anybody with a command grab, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. Should have been Mika.
So the
Just saying.
Japanese killers that were there were Momochi, Mago, and Haitani, and they all got first, second, and third place. They rolled over everybody. And in top 16 and top 8, Japan only lost one match, match
Really?
against Australians or anybody, and that was Mago. He lost one match against Falco in their set, but he still went 3-1. So
Really?
they just destroyed
God.
everything.
Oh my
Oh, this was
God.
like a double elimination, like standard tournament, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There was just
Jeez.
no hope for Australia. I'm sorry, dudes.
Right now,
Um,
you
but
guys
yeah,
can,
they
you
got
guys
to
can
play
love
the
Yeah,
that.
best.
just this past weekend.
They got to
Yeah.
play the best of the best.
Hell
though.
yeah, hell yeah, they did.
You know, shout outs to their scene.
Shien got 4th place.
Oh.
He's from Singapore though,
Xian,
not
yeah.
from Japan.
Yep.
So yeah, one of the first matches that I want to take a look at. This is actually Somniac, M Bison player.
Another Bison.
Yeah.
Bison, real
So the
popular.
clock is totally ticking down. It's at 17 seconds. Somniac's about to get knocked into losers. So the hope of Australia is kind of on
Is
his
on-
back right
yeah.
now.
He's the Atlas for all of Australia.
And then he almost
God, the whip.
eats it. Is he safe?
Who knows?
Nope.
Oh my God. I don't even know.
And that was pretty much it. I thought that was a cool moment. I thought to myself, I was like, man,
Oh
I
God.
wonder if Haitani had Haitani
God.
EX stomped.
EX stomped or EX
Anything.
anything EX other than going into critical art if that would have killed. And that's something that, maybe it doesn't happen super often that you go to the timer, but that scenario when the timer does get down there happens a lot of the time. And you need to know what does more damage within a certain time interval.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
that makes
Have
sense.
the
You have to
information
be
in your
aware
head.
of it.
You have to know.
So for you newer guys or anybody if that's not something you gotta shape up on your game,
Yeah.
then definitely have that in mind when the clock is ticking down.
It was great for Somniac too because Haitani had to fight his way back with
With
zero meter.
With 0 meter.
And that's always
Yeah,
a tough thing to
absolutely.
do. Yeah. No matter how far ahead in games you are, it's still tough.
Yeah, and then you gotta wonder is Haitani a little bit? Is he mine effed? Mine pooped?
Definitely not F because look at this
a little bit.
mullet right now.
And then you're like, where the hell did he get all this
Oh my
meter
God.
from? I thought he just blew his whole meter in the last round.
No, as soon as you go Super Saiyan, you're just going nuts with all the frame traps. Your frame data is so skewed, and you'll just build meters so much because your opponent doesn't want
Yeah, I
to
mean,
look,
look,
he's
now
on
he is
super.
sitting on full bar
Yeah,
again.
your
You
opponent
had-
doesn't want to press buttons once you're Super Saiyan, dude.
But I just thought that was a really hype moment, and it was definitely hype for Australia. You couldn't really hear the sound too much because we have it pretty low, but they erupted when
Yeah,
that
they-
happened.
I heard
And
it, I
I
heard
mean,
it.
it was a timer scam. It was a timer scam, but their boy was still in it. And it was just this really hype moment to see Australia pop off in the background. They're like, whoa, it was crazy. It was just a top 16 match.
You
so
just love
so the
watching
next
Nikali win,
one,
though.
I do.
Yeah, that's it.
This next one.
Nikali fanboys.
Is Somniac again. He had a lot of hype moments. Yeah, this M Bison player, Somniac. I'm a fan. He didn't make it into top 8, but I'm a
But
fan. He won a
But
fan.
whatever,
This is going to be Somniac versus Shien. Shien playing
Ooh,
Fang the
see,
entire time.
This
I
was
like
a sick
seeing.
match, actually.
I like
You guys
seeing
see this
Fong
one?
play.
Yeah.
Was
This
there
is what I love.
anybody else from Singapore representing, or was it just Xian?
I don't know. It might have just been Shien.
Okay.
I'm not positive though.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
But he's getting put in the blender. He's in the Fang frame traps. He's getting eaten alive by the
Oh my
poison.
God.
He gets put back in the corner after fighting and battling his way out of there. He's at no health. This poor man.
Oh, here we go.
Lord
Ooh, and
Bison.
he just comes over the.
And then.
And
Gal's theme goes with everything. And he's
still
on less
gets him,
than a
still
magic
gets
pixel. There is
Oh, can
no
he bring
life
this back?
there.
Oh
Yes.
my God,
Yes, he can.
And he goes one up on Shin.
yeah. And,
Australia.
I mean, Fong is a little bit of a glass cannon and stuff. And,
Yeah.
And
It can be
what I
difficult
love-
to close out that last bit of health with Fong. After you ticked him down with the poison.
Is he a normal health character, or is he a
I don't.
I think it's
Well,
about 900.
We'll let the
Seems
chat.
like a 950.
we'll
We'll
let
figure
the
that-
chat
The
discuss
chat, not the trash.
I said chash.
the trash.
Chats. But yeah, fun fact: Xian actually got 2-1 by Falco. Also, he got bodied by Falco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Falco was the only one to take a match off of the Japanese.
Correct.
In top
And
16.
then he bodied
Yeah, so
Singapore.
they're doing it. They're doing it.
Well, that's cool.
And then he bodied Singapore. Woo! They gotta learn their Fang matchup. Some other people need to learn their Fang matchups too.
It's just Yen.
I heard about some people getting bopped by Sonic Fox.
Sonic.
There was that
In
that
some
happened.
casuals, I heard about
Ooh,
a
that's
first,
right.
maybe a first to 10. Yeah, went
Against,
10 and 2.
Knuckle
But
Dude.
hey, you know, he's getting all the best practice.
Absolutely.
So he's really who's the real loser, you know?
Right.
He got all that knowledge,
All
all
that
that
talent,
data.
being able to
Man.
play against each other in such a small area. Well, not small, but Australia's pretty big. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, it's huge.
Who
dude.
ended up taking-
Australia's gigantic.
No,
but there's
it's
only like a
giant.
certain like
Well, it's
part
not-
of
it's
like a
only- it's
little.
only habitable.
In terms of their scene, it's not as well known.
Oh yeah. They're
They
very
do have their
close,
own
though.
major, but their scene is relatively small. So I wish they would expand more. I'm pretty sure
There's only like 3% habitable zone in
Yeah,
Australia.
Yeah, it's only
that's
like
the rest is
it's the southwest and the east.
And then even that part is filled with like the most dangerous creatures known to man, known to the
flying
earth.
spiders and wallabies.
Yeah, spiders
will,
the
mate.
size of a freaking watermelon.
Except the possums. The possums are pretty cute.
So back to Battle Arena Melbourne. This last match I want to highlight. This is probably the sickest comeback of the entire tournament, and poor Momochi has to be the one to receive this beating.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this. This is going to be
Good, I wanna see
Momochi
it.
versus Haitani. He just hit him with a big-ass combo. He's coming in and he's pushing him to the corner. He's got him there in the corner. He's got
Yeah,
him
I mean,
right
Momochi-
where he wants him.
yeah, I mean, you
He's got
take-
him
look at
to
this,
bait
look at
the
this.
uppercut.
You'd just be like, Momochi
And it
has
didn't
this,
work.
right? No.
You're kidding
Did you already say this is a comeback? Holy what
Oh, what the F?
What
Oh my
happened?
God.
What?
Are you kidding me?
I'm just like, what? Just,
I want you to
Momochi has super. Also.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, what are you doing?
And Nikali doesn't
I mean,
have
is it-
V-reversal.
Full meter. Oh, what the?
so lucky.
Dude, this is collusion.
I'm just like, jab. Momochi just jab.
No, this is all nerves, dude. Look at these nerves. There was like 10
Come
different
on.
times he could have won. He could have won right
my
there.
God.
And he's still,
And that was to put Momochi into the losers.
I mean,
the first time. That was the first match
That was
they had.
so hard to watch.
how did I, why was
That
I
was
watching
so
that?
hard to watch.
Why was I watching that thinking Momochi's the underdog? Like, no, that's,
Yeah, no, he was clearly in
That's
control.
clearly
Dude,
not-
he was in
Momochi's never-
complete control, and then
Yeah.
jab V-trigger.
I was just, the whole time I was just like,
He had
come on,
super
man,
the
just do
entire
it, do
time
something.
and never even confirmed into it and still was able to win.
You know what? The worst thing is he managed to have Haitani, he popped off on the V-trigger. He still managed to get into neutral space, but he retained his super through the entirety of his death. Like, how are you going to hold that
That's what I
critical
feel like.
arc?
Yeah, I mean, he could have just easily chipped him out.
Spend
Just
your
at
meter,
least
don't hold
just
it
to
in the
stay,
bank account.
Just to
That's
stay
like
in
Like
the
they
game.
say on Beast TV, don't hold it in the bank account.
Yeah, you
don't
don't.
give it. Don't save it for your line.
Invest,
your lineage.
invest.
Like, spend that shit.
Hell yeah. Good choices. Good choices all around, actually.
So shout outs to
Really
New
good
Game
stuff.
Plus TV, Twitch. You can watch that stuff on twitch.tv/New Game Plus TV.
Okay.
Shout outs to them for putting on that show. It was a great tournament to watch. I hope you guys watched it, or spend the time to go watch the VODs, or check it out on YouTube if it's up there. I'm not sure if it is. But that was the tournaments for this past weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed some of those clips that we brought up for you guys. I know a lot of people, we like to on this show kind of highlight the stuff that happens that maybe you wouldn't normally catch, if you only watched the VODs for the grand finals, or you
Right.
only watched,
Right.
top 8 and stuff. We try to kind of highlight the storylines before that, leading up to that, like who didn't make top 32. Because to me and to us, and hopefully to you guys, like we find it just as interesting who doesn't make it
right.
as who did make it. And like what
Absolutely.
happened that, what happened to them, that why they didn't
It's
make
like,
it. You know?
Singapore's hero, where is he?
There's so many good players showing up for Street Fighter V. Like it's nuts. Like every tournament, it's a
like
blow up. You're like, what?
And it's
That
like
guy
a
didn't
brand,
make it?
and it's like a brand new slate. Like there were so many, there were like a lot of great and good players for in the Street Fighter 4 days and in
Yeah,
the
but
Street
there
Fighter
was
3 days. But
definitely
now
a
there's
dwindling like top player scene.
Yeah.
Even though the scene has overall been growing, the influx of players has been pretty steady for the most part. There was still like it was very hard to break into that top player status for
Right.
USF4 once it reached like a 7-year, age gap.
yeah, it plateaued for a while there.
Even with like the top players, it's so nice to see how they're transitioning from their old mains that aren't necessarily in Street Fighter 5. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah,
all know
don't
that the
have,
old-
like, a good counterpart to
all the
them
old
either.
characters don't retain the same frame data or the same kind of move set. Like traditional Ryu Ken, you'd expect them to be kind of like
the
traditional
same, yeah.
Shoto, but their dynamic has changed a lot more than we would expect from a Street Fighter game. And then the professionals, like being able to adapt to that new playstyle and keeping their own strategy to
Right,
win
right.
and succeed.
Or
is-
having to adapt
that
to a
was-
completely new
That's
strategy.
pretty much like the best part about seeing new games
Yeah,
and
yeah.
professional players and how their take on how they apply their strategies.
It's also
the process.
and it's also exciting for me to see players who were maybe they were big like 2 generations ago, like in the third strike or the
Right.
ST days.
hell yeah.
Like, and then their comeback in the Street Fighter 5
Africa.
arena, Graham Wolf.
Graham Wolf. Oh, God,
Graham
Graham
Wolf.
Wolf.
And then counter to that, I'm not gonna.
Those guys haven't performed as good as people expected, but I still think that is just maybe a learning curve. Maybe the learning curve is a little bit more
Well, I was gonna say
in the favor of the younger generation. I'm holding out that there's still big things from these guys in the near future.
Yeah.
Like they've had to switch characters, they've had to switch mental styles,
but
processes.
that said, then there's also sort of the counter to that, which is
Some of the younger guys haven't been performing.
Well, I was going to say, you guys are talking about all the pros and how they switch, maybe like Cammy to Cammy or Ken to Ken and how to make that adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the pros actually haven't been able to adapt that well
at all.
Yeah. I'm not going to name
And
names.
that is
You guys-
interesting to see too.
It's very interesting.
I mean, it's a little unfortunate.
And sometimes it's
sad,
heartbreaking. You see all the hard work, all these like FADC combo extensions, and then when they just don't have it, it's like, where did you go? I'm not going to name any names. I'll let
plenty of
I'll
them.
let
Sorry,
chat do it.
Yo, chat is going nuts
I'll let
right now.
chat
Alright,
name
so
I
it
don't know
to
if you guys saw
people.
that. Chat is going nuts right now. And
And we're just not even reading it.
It's-
No, we
Yes.
are.
Yeah, we're
I
totally
had to-
reading
I had
chat.
to call
We
them out.
see you, chat.
You guys know.
You know who we're talking
You know
about.
dang well
We know who
Yeah,
we're
they
talking
know
about.
who they
what I was doing.
But we're not saying anybody.
We'll talk about it later.
But anyway,
You guys
so
know damn well what I was doing.
we
Anyways,
did bring up Beast TV a little bit.
little
One of the
bit.
most watched shows on, if not the most watched
Right.
FGC
Beast
show.
TV.
I'm a huge fan, dude. I love watching it. I'm a nerd about it. I'm like a mega fan. I'm like
Right.
a super fan.
they have all the
Yeah.
superstars there anyway, so I don't blame you.
You have,
so
a, you,
sitting
have,
in.
you have a tattoo of Daigo's face on your butt, on your left cheek.
I
thought
told
that was
you,
his inner
out of
thigh.
the script, dude. I cut that out.
Oh,
I cut that out of the script.
Shoot.
But anyways, so Daigo got picked up by Red Bull
Interesting.
and is
Right,
now
he did.
only
He
a affiliate partner with Mad Cats. I'm not sure exactly what that relationship means.
Well, I'm sure they
I'm not
know,
sure
but-
if that was expounded upon.
No, I don't.
by
I don't
other
think. I don't think the
people,
fine details have been.
released by anybody.
disclosed to the
Yeah,
public.
It's kind of just like.
So is
I mean,
it-
all
does
I
that
know is
mean
that
it's-
now Beast TV has a giant like light bulb Red Bull thing in the back that's like half cut off. You just
Is it
gotta know it's Red Bull.
RBMCZ now, or is it MCZ
It just might just be
RB?
R-
or is it just
Rubmacus.
Daigo?
It's Rubmacus.
It's Rubmacuz.
Rubmacus.
Rubmacuz. Rubmacuz. Got it. So anyway, this Rubmacuz Daigo.
RB Daigo. Mucus.
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it.
he's like
Mix-
squashed in between them. He's got to put it in
Those
between.
are both some heavy hitters.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
mind getting.
Just squeeze,
just-
squeeze.
just-
I
I know you wanna say
have
something.
been.
I know what you
I
wanna
have
say.
been shushed.
Shush. He's a shusher. We got to get that guy.
Get him.
But I wanted to talk about BCV because there has been another victim.
Other than Arturo?
After
Other than
Arturo.
Arturo.
After.
Okay, they were not done.
Arturo 5 chase?
And apparently they're not done, period, because they invited another guest onto the show to give, after he just won a tournament, a really prestigious tournament, Tiger Uppercut.
Who was the tournament, Nick? Who was the guy?
Who was
His
that
name
guy?
his name was Eita.
Oh,
And he is
right,
now, I
yeah.
say was because he is now dead. Because he was demolished. He was destroyed.
He was vaporized. He was just.
torn asunder.
He was atomized.
Yeah, he was all the possible ways of saying that
Disassembled
he
on
was,
an atomic level.
yeah.
Oh,
that was just
specific. I
that
like
was
that.
just a beating, dude. And in the same, it's like almost as if it was scripted. It was the same exact score and the same time.
I know,
like,
and the same people
the
too. It
same
was Fudo.
rounds.
He lost.
Yeah.
He won one
Played
against,
him
right?
first, and then he lost the first game. Fudo did, which is the same thing that happened with Arturo, if I'm not mistaken. And then Fudo won 5 straight, and then Daigo beat him 5 straight.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there like,
And he's a Laura player too, right?
damn, like same reaction as Art, pretty much, just like, what? I mean, at least he could like converse with them afterwards. You know?
Oh, yeah, he's
so that probably felt
At
a
least
little
they,
bit better.
at least
Art
they know
really-
they can't trash talk him on live TV.
Art had to actually.
Art hit the whole
it,
day.
so
He's just like,
Yeah. No,
that
it was
must
like
have
this.
been Hella brutal,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, I'm sorry, but all right.
But anyways,
You're a cool dude
they
and
got-
everything,
they
but-
got-
Oh, he is totally.
got
Thanks for being a sport about it. Appreciate
So
you.
who's the next tournament winner that they're gonna have on the? Maybe it's gonna be Haitani, dude.
It's
I
gonna
hope
be Justin Wong.
I hope it's Justin Wong
Actually,
or
that would
Haitani.
be great.
That would be sick.
No, they should have
for,
K-Brad.
for Tokyo Game Show,
Oh my
I
God.
predict.
Put K-Brad
I'm telling
on
you,
there.
it's gonna be K-Brad and
K-Brad
Justin
would be
for Tokyo
dismembered.
Game Show. They're gonna bring him over to Daigo's house.
They're gonna They're gonna demolish 2 of them.
No. I think
simultaneously.
I think Justin's gonna take down Daigo. Ryu versus Karin. I think Justin's gonna take down.
But
Justin's gonna take down Daigo.
every single strategy comes up.
Justin
with,
Wong.
it comes to fruition, and he wins.
Yeah.
Because he is Beast TV.
Well, he's
this
old.
is Beast.
man.
That
He's
is
been-
Beast
He's been doing it
TV.
for decades.
He is old.
He's old. He's like 34.
He's their resident Grey Bush. Okay, we have our
Whatever.
resident Grey
Well, he's
Bushes.
not that old. He's 34.
Our
But he's
resident
been doing
Gray
it for a
Bush is
while.
Afrocole. They've got their they've got their resident Gray Bush. I'm gonna call him that from now on. Shout outs to
Dude,
Grandma's
stop saying
Boy.
Bush.
Shout outs to
Bush,
Grandma's
like,
Boy.
way too many times on that
Oh,
one.
this was like a little tidbit. You know, not super. It's not like super FGC related, but Razer is setting up their first retail shop in the U.S.
San Francisco.
In San Francisco, and they're gonna have an arcade.
Now,
Like,
I've heard
Now, here's the
so
thing.
Not
much
like
on
an arcade,
Kappa.
an arcade.
Wait.
No, it's an arcade, like full-blown arcade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Kappa had their way with that one all day, all week, and I think it was kind of.
I didn't see any of that.
I mean, I
all
just-
I saw in our
They
Kappa
talked
was
about-
titties.
They
and-
talked about how
That's all they have on
Razer
there.
managed to open up arcade way before Watson did in like a short span of time.
Oh, see, I was going to say.
Oh, okay, that's what they were.
Oh, and on top of
Oh,
that, let me bring up another topic real quick. So in Azusa, there was a bowling /
Oh my God,
arcade
I heard about this.
center
Right.
that opened up across the street from the initial location that Watson was trying to preserve.
well, they're trying to. They're
Trying
So-
to.
Yeah,
well,
they're trying
no,
to open
they
up.
approved-
It's a family fun center.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
a
approved
family
that
fun
center
But
over Watson's. And
Well, hold on,
that's how
wait.
they packaged it.
You're
Yep.
mentioning a lot of names that
It's
maybe
supposed
not,
to be a
maybe
bowling
people.
alley. It's a.
Well, you're talking about
Super Arcade, Mike Watson.
There's a whole
Was
background on that. If
Like,
you want to
I'm-
know,
I'm-
kind of what we're talking
It's
about.
rough. It's rough.
You'd have to go to the superdojo.blogspot.com and check that out. That's just we don't have enough time to cover that
No, no, no. Yeah,
yeah.
topic.
That's a whole different
so
story.
There's definitely a lot of illusions and stuff that we're talking about that like you just can't understand unless you get the background on all the story. Go to that blog and read it all for yourself.
There
And,
just was, yeah. I
you
mean,
know.
the bottom line was they didn't want an arcade because an arcade is undesirable, but then it's like a bowling alley.
But okay,
bar.
yeah.
Okay,
Let me
yeah,
check
whatever.
in real quick to see with our producer if the man Afro Cole is in attendance. Okay, he is
is.
here.
I've seen him walking around.
We are going to actually, we're running out a little bit of time. I don't think that we're going to get to the 2.1 recap because I really want you guys to experience this Afro Coleness. And we just have just enough time to get him on here for an interview. And we're going to make that happen right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Right
We're gonna-
now,
we're gonna
and by
sandwich
right
him.
now, I mean in a little bit, in a
After
second,
he
because
comes
we're going to
out.
go fetch him real quick. So while we're doing that, why don't we take a look at one of the ugliest matches from 2.1.
Let's pick the ugliest.
All right,
Pick
so
the
we were gonna do a
ugliest
good,
there
the
is.
bad, the
we were
ugly
supposed to do
sex.
a good, the bad, the ugly.
Now this
We're
is
gonna go
good.
to- we're gonna
this
go
is
to-
good. We want to see the ugly.
Yeah, we're
gonna
going to see
straight
the
into
ugly.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Actually, no, I will. It's gonna be Nick Tanella versus Alex Valle. We're gonna skip into that.
Yeah, we're going to skip straight ahead to some of the ugliest Street Fighter you've ever seen.
Yeah. It's gonna be nuts.
We're
Little
going to
bit
do
of
this
stupendous.
segment, this good, the bad, the ugly, and it just didn't.
Well, this is Afro Cole time, is what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
But I just want to show you something, boys and girls, the kind of stuff you don't do. All right, this is why it's gonna be ugly. So check this out.
This
Who
Now
is
Nick
this?
Tanella
I don't
is
even wanna
sitting
see
on a
this
win,
again.
right? He just dropped a combo. He could have went straight into the super, but no. Here we go. Uppercuts.
I don't know,
Look,
bro.
look at him. He's bobbing his head like, yeah, I respect that. No, you
Like,
don't give
yeah.
that man respect.
The-
you give him
the-
respect.
You're
That's it.
bobbing your head. It's like,
You give
okay.
him an inch. He'll
I was
take
trying to
a
make it
mile.
seem like I was thinking with
No,
that
see, I was
uppercut,
thinking
you know?
you're looking at him and nodding like, okay.
Okay,
you
that was
know,
sick.
I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what
he
you're
knew
doing.
I was gonna uppercut. Nah, son,
I
come
was,
on.
I was feigning smartness, guys.
But
Come
look,
on.
throughout the match, Nick,
Intelligence.
you had every single round as soon as you went up 1-0 against Cali Power. Now you're
don't
sitting
wanna
on
talk about
you're
it,
sitting on a full meter, right? Cali Power is kind of worried about your advances. He hasn't initiated offense as much, but as soon as he gets you into the corner, you're still kind of pressing buttons, kind of like feigning in and
I
out.
haven't even seen this since this happened.
Oh, dude, it's gross. You
You
better keep your eyes
haven't watched
peeled.
Yeah,
keep your eyes
well,
peeled.
you gotta keep
I was
watching,
so hurt.
Yeah. So Nick, he's kind of low on life or whatever, but he's gonna go nuts in about a few seconds. Now, here we go. Nuts, boys. That's right. Look at this. Little bit of health, but no, he's not done yet. He's not done yet. Here we go. V trigger
Okay,
time.
okay.
Throw. Dash
Come
up.
on, Nick. Come on, Nick.
No
Oh, wait.
super.
Why did
You
you
rooting for you?
He dropped
know,
the
you
combo.
know what's
tried
gonna
to-
Hey,
happen.
look. Super. Nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing.
No.
He got nothing. You totally
Okay,
had
that's
that.
where the breakdown happened. It's
That
like,
was-
dude, I was like, come on, I did it. And then he tried to shake my hand.
No,
Now
And
I
I'm
want you
so
to know-
hurt.
no.
I'm so hurt I can't even
That's
see it.
that's
Nick.
8 frame, boys. That's what that was.
Nick did not want us to. He did not want to relive that right now.
He actually wanted to go for the handshake, but there was an 8 frame delay. He was still
Oh
up,
yeah.
and then he left. He's down. He's gone to out of the line.
Okay, but that was like I wanted to get top 8.
sorry.
The entire
I'm so
year
sorry.
that was my goal.
And you
For
did
the
it.
year I got
You
top
did
8.
it.
So
That's
now
so
I got
still,
now I
it's
just
fine.
got to
It's
win
fine.
one. So yeah, we're gonna go into that Afro Cole interview. So we're going to go on a quick 60-second break, and we're going to have Paul, Dr. Stance. He's going to interview Africole for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy that. Thank you for watching, and we're gonna get right in there.
You guys ready? Okay, ready? 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 3, 2, 1.
All right, that wasn't 60 seconds. That definitely was not 60 seconds. But hey, we're back anyway.
Yoga.
I am Yoga. Namaste. But I am Dr. Stance, and with me right now is Afro Cole, Jason Cole.
What's up,
Thank
sir?
you. Now you've joined us for commentating, but I actually want to talk to you about you.
Oh,
this is Cole
we're getting
time now.
personal
This is Cole
now.
time. I want to
Getting
actually talk to you because here's the thing. So let's just talk. I want to hear. I want to hear some stories. How long have you been playing Street Fighter?
Man, dude, since the beginning, I would have to say.
91?
Yeah, 91.
91.
World Warrior, man. World Warrior. I was a junior. Yeah. No, sophomore in high school.
In high school, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sophomore in high school, and my friend just comes to, like, you know, during break one day and was like, man, there's this crazy game, and it's this fighting game. They got this military guy and this stretchy dude, and it's just amazing. And me and my homie was like, what, whatever, nothing's better than Double Dragon, dude. Whatever.
Oh, you were the
Yo, that's what time it was.
you needed a 3-act structure. We needed like co-op. No,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. And I was like, what? And he's like, no, man, you don't get it. It's just one-on-one, like how at the end of Double Dragon. I was like, oh, so we just go to this arcade, and like even back then, we walk into Aladdin's Castle of all places.
Okay,
you know,
where was
RIP
Aladdin? That was an
Oh
arcade.
yeah,
I
San
gotta
Jose
say, it was
Golfland. Yeah. No,
Oh,
San
was
Jose. Yeah, San Jose Golfland was right across the street from this mall that had Aladdin's Castle, and that was the first place I saw Street Fighter.
That was the very first
yeah,
place. Okay.
and it was amazing. Everyone was crowded around, and I'm looking at it. I first played it. I picked Blanca.
Blanca?
Yeah,
Okay.
Blanca. My homie picked Chun-Li, and like we only picked it because every time we looked at the directions, and we're like, all these moves look crazy. Oh, I can do this. It just says hit repeatedly. I was like,
Okay,
all right,
yeah,
geez,
we can
we're
just mash a button.
mashing. Yeah, and like, yeah, that was my first experience with Street Fighter, man. The beginning, 91, man.
So you played Blanca first, but you're known as a Dawson player. You've been playing Dawson for
honestly, yeah, that's a funny story too.
Yeah,
how
why?
I played Dawson.
How
man.
and why?
Shout outs to my good friend Gerald Guest back in San Jose, California. One of my good true close
Shout out to
friends.
Gerald. He's watching.
Yeah,
he's not watching. He's not watching.
I was a Ryu player from the very beginning,
Yeah.
and we were going to these little donut shop tournaments because there was this first big tournament built up to go to this major event that Capcom was actually sponsoring. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like that first year?
That first, very first, it was like at the end of the year.
So that was esports.
That was
decades
the decade.
before
I saw
it had
a
a
flyer
name.
in the mall and it said First National Street Fighter Tournament.
Okay.
And you got to qualify to enter, and these were all the qualifying spots. And like I went one of my down the street donut shops was qualifying. And so
You said okay. You're saying donut shops. Like,
yeah, it was
you
literally
mean like,
at
like
a donut shop.
like a Dunkin' Donuts
yeah,
kind of thing.
Dunkin' Donuts had
That's where
arcade
so Capcom had their qualifiers at like Dunkin' Donuts. That's that. Okay, that's 1991. That's what they. That's 1991.
These were our
okay.
venues: Dunkin' Donuts,
Okay.
7-Eleven. You know,
Okay.
we were lucky if it was at Golfland.
Okay,
stuff.
so you get your
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
Yes.
So sign up for Book It. Get your Slurpee. Get a box of Munchkins, and then hey, while you're at it, let's try to qualify
real
for
quick,
for this major international tournament. Okay.
It
Okay.
was good, yeah, it was amazing. And then so I was kind of my local area. They're like, yeah, my homie's gonna qualify, and I was gonna qualify.
Okay.
And there was 3 chances to qualify. So my friend qualified the first one. We're both Ryu players, and the second one, my friend Gerald Guest came out of nowhere and beat me in finals with Dawson because he did the one thing that everybody didn't know back then. He reversed my tick throw. Back in the day, like in 91 days, short throw was irreversible.
Yeah,
if
yeah, I
somebody
remember
made
that
you
first.
block, we didn't know how to get out of it. You're just like, you're done. So it put you in block stun, you're it. And so I put him in block stun for the killing blow. I was like, all right, I'm going to go for this throw. And he just learned how to tech throw, and he reversed my throw with Dawson and beat me. And I was just shocked.
So
and
and
I
that was
just
it.
like,
That planted
that
the
was
seed.
it. That planted the seed.
That was an
I
origin
like,
story.
Yeah, dude.
So-
and I started talking to him, and I was just like, dude, what is this character? He's like, oh, yeah, man, I just learned this playing my friend, blah, blah, blah. You know, he goes to Japan sometimes, and, you know, after that, I was just like, we became friends. We started grinding, and I picked up Dawson for that major. I instantly switched characters.
So it wasn't the yoga fires, the yoga flames, the drills, the stretching limbs. It was the throw teching.
It was throw tech.
It was throw
He
teching
was
that
the
converted
first
you.
character that was able to throw tech, and I was like, this is amazing. I was
That's-
like, this character's crazy. Like, you can just get it. And then it came to the point where it was, you know, either you used Guile or you used Dawson. You know, those are the two best characters.
That's
So-
that.
That's
You know,
what got me playing Dawson.
that's not at all what I thought it would be. I thought you were going to be like.
I was like, well, he can
I
take
thought you were going
throws.
to say like, is that, no, because you know he's stretched and like that's pretty cool. And I
No,
wonder like,
even back then, it was all about picking the top tiers.
okay,
I was like,
all right.
wait, he can reverse throws? I'm sold. I was like, I'm out of here at Ryu, man.
that I played Blanca because I was like, hey, like a martial arts green dude. Martial arts green dudes are kind of big in the early '90s. It's like Ninja Turtles, Battletoads, Blanca.
Oh
That's-
yeah,
it's
but
all-
he fit naturally.
it all
man.
just fit. So okay, so you're doing a tournament, like an actual big tournament.
Yeah, it was huge.
Not televised. There is no Twitch. There's none of that stuff. So
Shout out to
How-
James Goddard too, the original PR guy, and
Oh, yeah?
for Capcom. Yeah.
James Goddard, hey, man.
James Goddard, he started that whole thing.
So then
you know?
we always talk about this concept of the hunger.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, we take for granted now, if you want to learn tech, you go to YouTube or whatever. But we're talking 1991. There was no precedent
Oh,
for what
man.
you're doing. There were no examples of like, hey, there's this guy going to Japan. There's this guy being flown out to England or down to Brazil.
Nope.
There's none of that.
It
So
was all over.
how did you even feel, or how did you even know this was something you wanted to play seriously?
Well, to be honest, I guess it wasn't really like, you know, I want to play this all the time. It was like I was just a gamer. I mean, me and my friends were just hardcore gamers. I mean, we were already traveling to gaming tournaments back then. I mean, they had, you know, the Nintendo Power Fest, they had the Blockbuster Challenge, Sonic Challenge, all these tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when Street Fighter came out and then, you know, Capcom did that whole sponsor thing, I mean, we were hooked on Street Fighter. We were all about it. And the way you found out tech back then was just
Yeah, tell us.
hearing rumors. It was
And
just
just-
on the street. Like the way I learned how to play, how to do Guile's handcuffs.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest move in, like, you know, Street Fighter history. That World Warrior Guile handcuffs. Like, my friend heard about a guy that knew this guy that went to Japan, that came out to the tech and knew about it, and we had to track this guy down. It took us like a week and a half.
You stalked this person.
No, we had, dude, it was like a real life RPG. We had to go down the street to get this information, to get the secret item to go give to this
You
guy.
have to trade the Yoshi doll for a hibiscus, and then
and it
bring a jar of
wasn't-
water to this other guy.
I swear to you. Then me and my friend finally tracked him down where my friend was like, okay, he's going to be at the 7-Eleven at around 11:30 at night on a Tuesday. I kid you not. And we were there like an hour earlier, got there, waited for this guy, and this guy, this random Japanese guy just comes in. He's like, oh, you guys the guys? And we're like, yeah, dude.
We're looking for some.
Like,
We're looking for some
this
Dawson tech,
We're
man.
looking for
I want
that
some.
tech, man.
We need some of that Street
He
Fighter
was
tech,
sold for that
man.
tech. And he's like, all right. And then
he's
he
like,
showed
what-
it to us in like
what
2
you need?
seconds. It was like the world to us. Like, we found this out. He taught us that night. And after that, I swear, for the next like month, we just traveled to 7-Elevens doing that tech.
Just doing
And
this.
just laughing. Every time we did it, we were like, we have the tech. Like,
We look-
everyone's getting body like, what is going on?
We look at the
right now?
eSports arena in all its glory, and here it is, beginning in 7-Elevens, just hustling kids for quarters at 7-Eleven.
Oh,
All right.
man, dude.
All
I know,
right.
yeah,
Thank you, 7-Eleven.
That was tech, and even on that big tournament, you know, I had leveled up and mastered Guile as well. And me and my friend found out the Redizzy combo. No one really knew about the Redizzy with Guile. And, you know, simple: Fear, Sonic Boom, backhand, Redizzy. And we found that out, and we were literally doing the same thing. We just went to every 7-Eleven, just doing that tech. And when we were ready for the tournament, like, we were ready.
The 7-Eleven, these were your dojos.
7-Eleven,
These
man.
were, these were your Pokemon gyms.
I had to ride my bike to 7-Elevens, and like when I kind of owned up the competition where nobody really wanted to put me at mine, I literally like to get good, I just traveled to different 7-Elevens and literally asked people there, like, who's your best player? And they're like, oh, such and such plays this guy. He usually comes around here. And I was like, okay, I want to play him. Oh, you're not going to beat this guy. And I would come back, play that guy, beat him down in front of everybody, and claim that 7-Eleven, and did that to, like, all throughout NorCal.
Was everybody just like you guys in the clerk, or like?
Oh, dude,
these have like crowds and stuff.
There was a crowd. There was always a crowd in 7-Eleven.
Everyone just always come to 7-Eleven,
and they like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we were keying machines.
I mean, it's a different time. It was a different time. You know, just a different time.
Yeah.
The first time I ever played Street Fighter 2 was in Maine. At some like fish shack.
Oh.
They had like, it was attached to a bowling alley, and there was Street Fighter 2. There it was.
Wow.
It was also 1991, but I was like 5.
Yeah. Well, here's a good story. I know you have probably a million stories, but this is probably the most priceless. Actually, my first rival, and I gotta tell this story.
Okay, yeah, I want to know about your first rival.
It involves John Choi, who, you know, shout outs to my brother out there. We wish all FCG wish you come back and play and just body people, but you're dealing with what you got to deal with. That's what's up. We respect that. But this guy, John Choi, was my first rival, and the friend that I told you about that beat me with Dawson, you know, best friend. We went to high school together and stuff. So he set up the meeting. He was like, so after I played Dawson, started winning a lot and stuff, he was my bane. And he was like, well, you can't beat this guy, and I beat this guy. And he finally was like, well, you're not going to beat John Choi. And I'm like, dude, who is this guy, John? You keep bringing these guys, and I keep beating them down. And he's like, well, this kid, man, he's just too good. He's only in like 7th grade. He literally was like, he was still in junior high at the time, dude. And so I was like, what? I'm like, whatever. I was like, set it up. And so he sets up this showdown at like, arcade was Keystone. Before Golfland, it was Keystone in NorCal. And so at 8 o'clock, I was supposed to go over there and play this guy. I get in there. It was kind of like almost like a high noon kind of thing. I get in there. Bust open the doors, got my quarters all lined up. I see a huge crowd, and he's already just beating up everybody. And I get in there, my friend's with me, and he's like, see, there he is, man. I told you, little Asian guy's good. And I was like, whatever, being super cocky and stuff. I finally get in line. I get up there. He's beating everybody. Come in, first game, he's playing Guile. I take him out with Dawson. Take him out first game. Break his streak. Everyone in the crowd's like, oh, they never seen this guy lose. I turn around to my friend and just like, this is the guy, dude.
Like,
he had to put his quarter up, had to wait a whole hour rotation almost. That's how long the line was.
And hey, there's endless battle lobbies.
Endless battle lobbies. And so, you know, I'm being cocky, beating up everyone. Dawson, he comes in, beats me right away. And I'm just I was like, I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, okay. And I was about to put my quarter back up, and everyone kind of like, the crowd was like, they kind of backed off, and they're like, nah, go ahead, dude. You guys can play. It's like, we just wanted to watch you.
The run back was invented.
The run back.
Jason, that's awesome. I'm sorry. We actually have to. We're out of time. I actually have more questions. I have like a whole.
I know, I saw the list.
But I mean, we'll have you back. I want to talk more. I mean, always looking to talk about like the origins of the FGC and all that stuff, especially in California. Jason, thank you so much for being with us. Before we leave, tell us where we can find you. Do you stream? Do you tweet? What do you do?
I'm going to be streaming pretty soon. Everything is under Afrocole. I mean, I got my Afrocole Twitter. Yep. I got Twitch at Afrocole. Be on the lookout. I know recently I worked with Ashley TV and Commander Jesse, and we did this little High Rollers event. So be on the lookout. We're gonna try to really polish it up and maybe make it a thing for SoCal.
I know. And then
I want to get like everybody involved. And stuff. I mean, like you guys as well and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Yeah, and because I want to ask you more. I want to ask you about text-based RPGs. By the way,
God,
guys, that's more. That's another time. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. This is going to conclude our pre-show, our third little pre-show. Please stick around and click follow if you haven't on twitch.tv/Nick Tanella and twitch.tv/LevelUpLive, because after this, we're going to go on a little break, and the Wednesday Night Fights
is about to go down.
Will actually happen. So, guys,
Dawson are coming in.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you guys for watching. Guys. We're going to take a little break.
Peace out, FGC. Love you guys always.